Oh, hello everyone. Welcome to the Flatpack Show, episode 73. I'm your host, Flatmeister. We've got Switchpoint.
What's up? So, when augmenting, I hope I don't lose my humanity.
Humanity, well, that's a different game. Humanity Restored.
Oh, that is a very different game.
Dark Souls, isn't it?
I think so.
And we've got Nerd Waffle.
I am already augmented.
He's
He's too far gone. He
Yeah.
might be going through cyberpsychosis right now. So what's that screaming in the background, Nerdwolf?
There's only one part of me that is still human.
He has become Mac 2.0 from your comment.
Oh God, no.
And unfortunately, we haven't got Crumple Point with us. Stuff just gets in the way, personal life. But we are behind the scenes.
We'll carry on. Carry on.
Behind the scenes, we're sort of figuring out whether to do like pre-recorded episodes so that all four of us together. Yeah, we'll still upload them on our usual schedule of Wednesdays, and it's something that we're figuring out. Yeah,
it takes time.
How you guys been? I know we were chatting earlier.
Well, I have been good. I know I wasn't on last week's show because I was busy, but I made it this week, and we're talking about a subject that's very near and dear to my heart. One that I love. One known as Cyberpunk, and of course E3. We're going to be talking about E3 a little bit, but the Cyberpunk's the main thing, I think. And
Cyberpunk.
I thought you were going to say lemonade.
Lemonade, of course. It's all about what kind of lemons you use. No, but Cyberpunk's a very big, very near dear thing to my heart. I've been a big fan, like Ghost in the Shell, Akira, the Cyberpunk 2020 game, of course, which Cyberpunk 2077 is based off of, the Blade Runner, like all this stuff and more. Of course, like just. Alita Battle Angel, not the new one, the original, because I'm back from the day, like back in the comics days, from Alita, like even with the Ghost in the Shell and all that stuff. I mean, I've been such a fan of Cyberpunk for so long, like Deus Ex.
Deus Ex. Especially like
this is my jam, man. This is my jam. I am so pumped for this game.
Because what was it? They first announced the teaser trailer back in 2013. Like that's about 6 years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was like in sort of slow motion. The camera was sort of rotating around this woman that had those mantis blades coming out of her arms, and it showed like numerous people were dead on the floor, and like these fast response police officers were surrounding her, and it showed bullets.
You can buy that figure.
Bullets sort of skimming past her face and things. Yeah, I think. Did you say you can buy a collectible?
You can buy a figure of her, yeah. Like so the Mantis blades are part of Cyberpunk. You can actually have those. Like you can actually equip them. You can actually get them in the game.
Yeah.
In the 2020 game, I mean. And I think somebody actually had them in Deus Ex Human Revolution. I think, didn't they?
Sort of like that. They were. I can't remember what they were bloody called.
Yeah, something similar to it.
But he did. Adam Jensen had like they were sort of wrist blades, weren't they?
Yeah, he hit the wrist blade. Similar to that, right? But anyway, the idea was, but like that girl's going through cyberpsychosis. So what cyberpsychosis is like basically like it's like the cybernetics start taking over your brain, or if not the cybernetics, something like they don't. It's never fully explained like what it is, but you're just slowly going crazy. You're losing your humanity to a degree. The idea is the idea believed within the game is that like you've augmented yourself too much. To the point where like you've let go of humanity, but like the real like reason behind it's never really fully explained in the game, and that's what I love about it. It could just be that you always were going to go crazy too. Like it's just part of the whole point. I love it. But yeah, like I'm actually really psyched to see like where this goes, because like there's multiple choice options. However, I don't know if you can actually choose which factions you're part of depending on like what missions you take, but I know that what's really cool is they got like Keanu Reeves to play one of the key characters from the Cyberpunk 2020 games, Johnny Silverhand.
Keanu Reeves. I'll just bring them up on the
Yes.
screen. Like that was so awesome when they announced that. They're like, "Oh my god!" And then the lights came on, and they were announcing Keanu Reeves onto the stage. It's like, oh, this, like that was the I think that was the best and only awesome part about E3.
For me, the best parts were him, that the Japanese lady, the one that
The cute
she worked
Japanese.
on, this the, and of course there's the dog that was on the Ubisoft stage. Those were the best parts.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't see the dog.
Well, the dog was cute. Some guy came up with his dog on the Ubisoft stage, and the dog was just there, just like, yeah, I'm gonna be a good doggo. Don't worry about me.
I liked all the Final Fantasy VII stuff for the most part.
Yeah, Final Fantasy VII looks awesome.
Kind of. I mean, they say that it's going to come out on both PS4 and PS5, but I'm sort of hesitant still because they, like, I don't know, it's Square Enix, and we've been made promises before, and all I'm saying is that I'm not buying a PS5 just to play the other half of Final Fantasy VII Remake. But hopefully it's both on PS4, and I don't have to worry about it. And hopefully it gets ported over to PC or something, or the Switch.
Yeah.
I don't know if they'll port it to Switch. I can see them doing it to PC. It really depends on how demanding the game is and whether or not they're willing to make graphical changes or updates to make it work on Switch or not. But
yeah. Well, I mean, they're putting The Witcher 3 on.
Oh yeah, and that's very impressive. That's very impressive. Like,
although you'll probably be able to play it on like 10 minutes of battery life. I love the Switch, but like the battery life is, I think, the biggest issue for me.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't bother you as much as I thought it would, but I mean, it is definitely not the most ideal part of it.
Which is like a fine thing because like we need to really work on advancing batteries as a whole, anyways. So to have that as sort of like a down point of it, which is like one of very, very few complaints I have about the Switch. I think it's a good one to have, considering.
I think my only other real complaint with it, like, because the thing is like it works way better than I would expect for a handheld to work, especially with the type of games it runs.
Yeah.
But like, my only real other complaint outside of that, I think, would be, I would like better grips on the Joy-Con for like handheld mode. But that's my only real other complaint I could think of for the Switch. And that's like really not that big of a deal. I can always just buy like a secondhand grip or something anyway.
And there's a few little nitpicky things, but like honestly, any complaint about the Switch is literally like not a big issue type thing. Like you can get really easy workarounds.
I agree. Anyway,
but yeah, I don't think there was anything else of particular note from E3. Wasn't it just the? I like here. I'll mention a bit of Crumple Point. He said E3 was such a disappointment. We're demoting it to E2.
I mean, how long before we get to E negative?
How come? Okay, so this might be a silly, stupid question, but how come they call it E3?
It stands for Electronic Entertainment Expo, I believe.
Yes, that is correct. Electronic Entertainment Expo. So E3, so 3 E's.
Ah, I see. That makes sense.
So I think like a lot of people, for me, the big games. I liked a lot of the stuff that Square Enix showed, a lot of stuff Nintendo showed.
From not E3, but yeah, still at the same time though.
Yeah. Those were the big ones for me. The only thing outside of that I can think of that I really was okay with was, like there was like 1 or 2 games outside of that I can think of, like Doom Eternal was interesting.
Oh yes.
But that's because I like the new Doom anyway.
I want your question. Did you say you like the 2016 Doom you've played? Have you?
Yeah, I did.
With Doom Eternal, some people were complaining about the user interface being like really distracting. and really
How?
like too colourful and too in your face. Like it takes up all the screen.
I mean, I haven't played the game, so I couldn't tell you. That's one of those things where I'd have to play the game to know if the UI bothers me, and even then, like,
I mean, based off the game, like the what do they call it, the B-roll, but based off the gameplay from this year's E3, it looks like you need all of that. You need that UI to stand out because there's so much going on. You're playing the game at 200 miles an hour. You've got double jumps and like exo dashes. You can dash in the air and on the ground. You've got to worry about your health and armor. You've got to worry about your ammunition count for all your guns. Like there's like almost like numerous like pickups and buffs and modifiers that you can collect.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I mean, honestly, I mean, this is stuff that was in like the other Doom as well. Except like they think there's like new power up. There's like different power up moves and stuff like that in this one, and there's different like I think there's new takedown kills and stuff like that too.
Yeah.
And that's fine. Like, I mean, honestly, if it doesn't get too much in the way, I see no issue. And like, we only saw like a preliminary design. I mean, it's coming out in a few months. That could change.
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly. Like, and even then, like, I don't like to make a judge on that until I play the game. And even then, like, I play on PC, so for me, wouldn't be surprised if somebody puts like a mod out for like a different UI down the line.
Yeah.
So I can't speak on behalf. Like, I can only speak on behalf of PC when I play. But that's never really bothered me. Another thing that I know that's common on PC versions of these type of games is sometimes you can actually like slightly edit they'll give you sometimes options to slightly edit the UI to make it more comfortable for your gameplay style.
Yeah.
Not every game does it, but some of them do. I know like some games like have like large UI, small UI options, stuff like that.
Yeah. I think a game like Doom, like I said, there's so much going on. You need all that. You need all that user interface to stand out, to tell you and to communicate to you as a player of what's going on. Like, oh shit, my health is really low.
I think there's ways to do it with minimalistic UI too. Like, so what you can do, like, so sometimes like they'll have flash indicators on some games where, so like you'll see your HP maybe, or you might see like something small on the side.
Yeah.
Then they'll have like a flash indicator to let you know when something's filled up. So like, oh, like this is filled up, so flash indicator comes up. So like you can press Y to do your special now if you want to. You know what I mean? Like that'll come up or something like that nature.
Yeah.
Like, so it doesn't actually have the meter showing up, but it'll like let you know, oh, this is done. Like by like having like an indicator pop up on screen somewhere when it's ready, kind of thing. So that way, like it doesn't take up UI space by just being there all the time. So you can definitely make changes like that. You know.
I love that. I love when you activate the weapon dial and it slows all the action around you, so you can take your time to select what gun you need for a particular situation.
Oh yeah, that's something they brought back from the 2016 one that I really love. Looks like I think you can hold more weapons this time around too, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah, you've got like an assault rifle that has a scope on it as well. As well as like the big Gatling gun.
Of course. Now, the better question is, will it actually feel like Doom this time? I'm not gonna be. I'm sorry to be that guy. I did like Doom 2016, but it wasn't very much Doomish because like so in the original Dooms, you can actually like run through the enemies. You didn't actually have to stay in the room. You could literally run through the level without killing any of the characters and like just beat the level. This one does like you're trapped in the room, defeat the hordes of enemy before we're into the next section thing. Which I don't hate that, but it is not. It is very much not Doom in that part.
It's a little less free. It's a little less like more controlled space as opposed to do what you want kind of thing. But you might not do so well, so you should do it. But
that's what I liked about the original Doom and Doom 2016. Like, yeah, you had a map. I don't think it had a waypoint marker.
Doom 2016 didn't know you, but it kind of like guided you to let you know where you were going.
Yeah, sort of the corridors would lead your eye, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Like the old Doom was more was very open. The original Doom was like a very open environment.
It didn't hold your hand, did it?
No, like you could easily get lost in like some of the later levels.
Oh, there
in the
was
old Doom.
when I was playing through the original Dooms, because I had the Doom 3 BFG edition that a friend bought for me years ago on the 360, and I had to use a guide to get through the original Dooms because some of those levels were so tough.
Oh yeah, like you can easily get like not only those like Duke Nukem 3D, Doom, Wolfenstein, all those games like they're very open ended. Like the level design is very open ended, like because it wants you to explore and find secrets. It wants you to look all over the area to see like how big the maps are big, but like half the map is like not needed.
Yeah.
Puzzles and cheats and secrets all built into it and stuff, you know.
I think it's
I
a
don't
lot
find-
though.
Like and you forgot Ken's Laboratory, because that was one too, and it was really good. So
yeah,
the same deal. You know, I think it was that going to look for your dog because he was kidnapped by aliens, and then I guess you had to fight him or something.
Yeah.
Some weird but fun stuff. You went around. Your weapon was jelly, for fuck's sakes. Like
There's like also hell, like there's even like even in the original like the original Quake and Quake 2 did that too, and so did like
everything.
and like all the old first person shooters were very open ended. Like we're very not that the not that the new ones, not that they're bad. Like I want to point out, like I like some new, I like a lot of new FPSs too. But like when you go back to play those old ones, because I've really been getting a kick of playing like those old ones again.
Yeah.
You realize how open ended they are.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh crap! Like I kind of want some more open ended ones to come back again. Like just these ones where you can get lost in like running around the environment trying to figure out what you need to do, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because there's just like a sense of fun in it. And especially there's a sense of fun of like these developers who are just like, hey, let's just have random things happen. Like, sure, you can turn on faucets. Oh, you can find the secret up here. Oh, like just because you showed up here at the right time, you saw like this, you saw this mutant mouse show up and like kill something. You know what I mean? Like,
well,
that's really cool.
At the time, like you see a lot of games these days, and there's still a few, but when game cheats kind of started ending a little bit, there were people who are like, oh, well, why do you want cheats? Like, you should be able to play the game yourself and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, okay, fine and stuff. Sometimes cheats are fun and stuff, and you don't have to use the cheats. That's the thing, though, is it added that extra level of fun of, like, I just want to fuck around with this game right now, and I don't want to take it seriously, so I'm just going to, like, give myself $1 billion and
Did you ever remember on the PlayStation 1 they had those cheat... what were they? They're like special cheat cards that you could slot in, and like they would upload. Like I think
like
they were
Game
like
Shark and the you're talking like the Game Genie, Game Shark, stuff like that.
Yeah, stuff like that. And I remember like there was one. It was like unofficial mods. Like there was nude Lara mod. It would for like Tomb Raider 2 and 3. It would make Lara nude.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god! Yeah. Oh, she's. It made her a blonde for some reason.
Because you gotta get your bimbo fetish.
But like it was something like a Spider Woman mod. Like it could make her scale any wall. So when you went to like the mansion, you could clamber onto the roof.
Oh yeah, okay.
I like cheats from what was it called? Shadows of the Empire for Nintendo 64. You could become a Wampa. I think it was like Wampa Stompa, and you had to do something.
Oh, what was the historical RTS game? Was it Age of Empires? And they had some of the most weirdest cheats on that, didn't they? Like, there was something like the spy even like you're controlling like ancient civilization tribes people, and then you've got like a spy car that shoots rocket launchers, has completely decimate and break the game.
Yeah. See, that kind of stuff sometimes it's fun to have the option to have it, you know? Like there's some people back in the days where you use cheats where they would not use them.
Yeah.
So you can just not use them and do that if you really don't want to ruin your game. But it's a nice option for people who are just like, you know what, I have 10 minutes to kill. I just want to like blow stuff up with nukes in an ancient civilization.
Well, I mean, it's also like it's just like one of those things where, yeah, sure, I want to go through the first time probably without any like cheats or anything. Having the option is important. So we are here today because, because we probably should get to the main topic, I guess, eventually.
I was going to say, yeah. I mean, we've gone through E3. Not much happened. Like I said, Crumple Point said it's being demoted to E2 because it was just basically filled with CGI trailers, no gameplay, and didn't one game studio announce they're doing a TV show of Mythic Quest?
It's just a TV show about a guy who like makes MMORPGs.
Oh, right. Was that all it is? Oh, I thought it was
it's not like the Mythic, like the RPG they mentioned isn't even a real RPG. It's just something they made up for that occasion.
Oh my god.
Well, one game that I like, and it's really like had actual gameplay throughout the whole trailer, I'm pretty sure, or most of it, was like Minecraft Dungeon or whatever. I'm really excited for, because I like Minecraft and I like dungeon crawlers, and I think it looks cool. It looks like Diablo, but in Minecraft, kind of.
Yeah.
I'm not a Minecraft guy, so that's fair. So I can't say if I'm really like if that's going to be good or not. Hopefully it is for the people who enjoy Minecraft. For me, the thing I wanted to bring up was after E3 is interesting because we've talked about the games we're interested in. We definitely interested in like fun things like Doom. We're interested in things like I'm looking forward to Zelda, Link's Awakening remake.
They're doing a remake, are they? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I heard they announced Breath of the Wild 2.
They did. Yeah. Yeah. I'm looking forward to that as well because I love Breath of the Wild. A fun game.
Yeah.
The thing that like after E3 was the controversy that followed Cyberpunk. That's really funny after E3. Was so during E3, there was in Cyberpunk they showed like a poster. I think it was after E3 or during E3, something like that. And there's a poster with.
It
was during. Okay, yeah. They showed a poster with a trans woman.
Or was it? I thought it was someone that screenshot like and zoomed in on like a picture.
Yeah, like they zoomed in on a picture. I think it was like because it was like I think a gameplay demo at E3 or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah, something like that.
Anyway, in the picture, there is a trans woman. We probably won't be showing it on screen because
it's up on the screen. I've got it up on the screen.
Oh, do you have it up on the screen? Okay, cool. I don't know if that'll censor our video or not, but whatever. I don't care. The idea of it is like the idea of like this thing was like, oh well, this is transphobic or something. I'm like, how though? Like, honestly, isn't it more like inclusive? Like you're part of it. Not to mention like you're part of the norm now because everyone is abused in ads, like females, males, I guess trans people now, because like, well, in Cyberpunk it's always been like it doesn't matter what your gender is because anything you can choose to be an in-between gender in Cyberpunk. Hell, they even announced in the game that you could choose to be transgender or non-gender as well in the game because that's part of the options, and that makes sense because like you're modular, you can choose what you want to be, right? But like the thing is like I think the thing that really is telling of it is like, well, they're like it's the controversy, and I think it's because like these journalists, these groups, they don't like CD Projekt Red because they've always been against them since the Witcher series.
Oh, what, it being racist for not having people of color in a game based on Polish mythology.
Yes,
which is a predominantly white Scandinavian country.
Yes. Like they have a historical reason for why they did what they did, but you're wrong for doing it because we want this.
Yeah.
So therefore, now we still like just like CD Projekt Red. So now we're looking for things to hate them on here, right?
Yeah.
And it's your cookie cutter. Well, we need a reason to hate you, so we're gonna keep making up reasons to hate you. Thing. Like, to the point where they brought, oh well, there's groups of people here that are like like they mentioned like certain like factions that are in the game that they saw like in the demos.
Oh, was it like the voodoo? There's a voodoo.
Yeah, the voodoos and stuff like that.
And the animals,
but, like,
wasn't it?
Yeah, the animalistic ones. And like, here's the thing: Mike Pondsmith, who is a black man, who is the creator of Cyberpunk 2020, and the one who's one of the co-writers for this game, who's actually helping with it. He checked up like on a lot of religious like background to like write these religious groups. Hell, some of the ones that were created by CD Projekt Red for this game particularly, they actually asked some of these religious groups, and like a lot of them actually really like these designs and how they're done.
Yeah, he didn't he say something like he researched a lot on African cultures?
Yeah, he did.
I mean, this guy looks like a badass, doesn't he?
Mike Pondsmith, yeah.
Yeah, I've got an image up on here, rocking some pretty cool shades.
He does. He sports some of those amazing shades there. But at the same time, I think my favorite part about him is he was on an image board with people like complaining about it. I think it was like on Reddit or something.
Yeah.
And he told them, and he said, you know what? I'm tired of these people who come up and try to tell me what who try to like be offended on my behalf and all that kind of stuff. He said, you know what you can do for me? How about when you're at your dinner and if your uncle is being racist, you can tell him to shut the fuck up.
Where is his response? Is it on Reddit, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, like
is that Reddit. The one where it says, don't tell me what to be offended by?
Yeah, that's the one, yeah.
Like
he's basically misquoting it, so just everybody knows. But
we might be misquoting slightly, but like
it's the gist.
It's the gist of he's basically like tired of you telling him what he should or shouldn't be offended by
because he's black, which is really racist in of itself as well. That all black people should only think in this way.
Yeah.
I mean,
and that's fine. Like I'm actually with him on this one 100%. Like, like, who are you to tell him what is or isn't racist? He's the one who made this game. Like, this is his game. He knows what it is. Here, I'm gonna give you guys some advice that you've given us. Maybe it's not for you.
Exactly. It just wasn't made for you. If you don't like it, don't buy it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm getting sick of that because it's like, well, why don't we like use that on you? Because everything's been changed. So if you didn't like it, it wasn't for you.
I've been getting in the habit of saying that on Twitter to these people, responding to them when they go, "Oh my god, blah blah blah." I go, "Look, it just wasn't made for you. If you don't like it, don't buy it."
And I think so. Anyway, the continuation runs. So we have this new ad, the one I just showed you guys today, before we went live. And it came with a lady who has like the cheetah, fur on her arms.
Oh, this one, yeah.
And, and so now it's, oh my god, do you guys support animal abuse?
Yeah. Like, I love the lispy queer.
The lispy queer.
The lispy.
Like, best part is I am biased. So I can make that joke. But
I'm not going to get Carlos Mazza come after me for saying that.
Hey, Carlos, I'm making fun of myself. Go fuck yourself.
Go on, Switch. Go
on. But this ad is silly because, like, okay, in it, it's like the part of Cyberpunk is, again, we talked about like how you can like you're no longer human. You can add animal DNA, right? You can add animal. If you zoom in on the picture, like I found like a higher quality version where if you zoom in on her picture, she has yellowish eyes. So presumably, presumably she's she's added animal DNA to her structure because it'll make her be able to run faster. It'll be able to make her look cooler. It'll be able to this is high fashion. This is the best of the best that Cyberpunk. The Cyberpunk people, like, they have that money. They can do that if they want to.
And that's what Cyberpunk is all about. It's about the different power struggles and power classes, and how easily you can be knocked off the hierarchy ladder and sent down to the very bottom of the.
Oh yeah. So I think my favorite part about it is like there's an interview with Mike Pondsmith and some of the creators of Cyberpunk 2077 where they explain a lot of this stuff and how Cyberpunk works and why they're doing what they do, whether you like it or not. Because they're trying to make sure the world feels like, well, what they know Cyberpunk to be from the 2020 games, right? So they're not saying, oh, like, you know, they're not telling you, oh, you should, like, whether you should or shouldn't be offended. They're telling you, this is Cyberpunk. This is how Cyberpunk works. This is how Cyberpunk has always worked, right?
Yeah.
Like, whether you like it or not, we're sorry. Like, this is just the way it's always worked. Like, this is the rules of the world in Cyberpunk, right? We're just trying to follow the rules of the world. So I'm not angry at them for that. I'm like, no, you're trying to be as true to what Cyberpunk is as you can be, right? Well, you know, while still making changes that you think are necessary, of course, to meet modern standards. But here's the thing. Some people have come out and say, I don't care if you have context for what you said. It's still a problematic thing. I'm like, what? So context doesn't matter now. Okay. Well, then how about I say, you know, if context doesn't matter, then, you know, if I find a tweet of you saying something really stupid, context doesn't matter. You know, because like, you know, context doesn't matter. I don't care who you are. Context does matter. Like, the fact that, like, you know, the fact that there's a reason behind why they do what they do is important, because it's like, you can't, like, at this point you're saying we can't discuss very important things because, oh, it makes your feelings hurt. Because, you know, it's like, well, if I said the word fuck and you hate that I said the word fuck, oh no, like, my feelings were hurt. You can't say that word, but what if I had a reason for saying it?
Yeah.
What if we were talking about, like, the history of the word and why it was created to begin with? But no, that context doesn't matter. Like, that's so stupid. But like, yeah. Does your English teacher tell you that context doesn't matter when you're reading through Huckleberry Finn and you run into our friend Tom there? Actually, no, I think it does matter quite a bit. Your English teacher probably told you, no, that matters because it lets you know what America was like during that time frame. Yeah.
I mean, with the Mix It Up poster, the trans women, I mean, we were discussing, I can't remember if I said it on air, but I mean, we were discussing it off air briefly before we went live, was it makes me laugh. The people that are getting absolutely upset about this poster in-game and in-world, you know, the fact they can't differentiate reality from fiction, were saying about these people getting butthurt about this advertisement in which it's saying that everyone is exploited to sell a product. That is what corporations do with their corporate wokeness, especially during Pride Month. And I said I noticed that loads of supermarkets and different shops going, we support gay pride, yay! And really, it's just cynical. They don't give a shit about your gay rights or anything. They just want you to buy products at their shop.
Oh, definitely.
That's all it is. It's just corporate wokeness, isn't it? It's very shallow.
But this is like a more blatant version of that. That's what this is. Like, but the thing is like, are we really going to, like, not believe, like, 10, 50 years down the line that they probably won't be more blatant like this? Oh, they definitely will be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Once these things become more accepted and more mainstream, they'll probably be just as blatant as this, maybe even more so.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's just the way the world works.
Like they were saying about fetishization of trans folk, when there is Dove do adverts and making a point of, oh look, we've got a trans model who's modeling, and she's like a conventional, like, cis hetero looking woman, like feminine beauty. Like, they perpetuate in the feminine beauty that they claim that they're against.
But, like, here's the thing, right? Like, so does that count as fetishization of those people too?
Exactly, yeah.
Where's the standard? Where's the line? I need to understand where the line is if we're gonna make this distinction. What I love is that Mike Bondsmith is not standing down to these, like he's not, like, bending the knee to these people. He's saying, like, no, like, this is my world. I'm making it later. Like, do you know how dedicated he is to, like, Cyberpunk? He's so dedicated to it. Like, the guns in Cyberpunk are actually based off of real guns. He actually got a gun license, and he started, like, buying guns and, like, making sure to see how they felt, well, like, at the range and stuff like that.
Yeah.
To make sure that they actually, like, made sense in his world when he, like, made, like, the Cyberpunk versions of them.
What, and sort of dismantling and seeing the sort of inner machinations of it all. Cool.
Yeah.
I think the only way. Sorry.
No, you're right.
I think that the only way we're gonna stop what these people are fighting the only way we're going to stop racism and all of this kind of stuff is if we all start realizing that we're all people. And that's the problem, is that yes, there are people out there that are racist and white supremacists and all of that stuff, but doing the other thing, like going the other way with the left side, the extremists on the left side, I think that that's just perpetuating this and not making it normal.
Yeah.
And not treating this sort of issue as we're all people. We may have slight differences that we can see and whatnot, but like, we need to learn how to live together and realize that we're all humans and stuff. And that's how you beat it. And that's how you beat is you start realizing more similarities and differences.
Yeah.
And that's the problem, is that they don't do that. They focus more on hating the other side, and the other side focuses on hating them. And that's
I'm glad you brought up that point.
That's what I like about his response, is it's very like, you know what, I'm not giving in to this, and he just goes about his business, and that's like how it should be done.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up that point, because it links into one of the other things we were bringing up. Was it's in the actual handbook for the pen and paper Cyberpunk 2020. It's like the law, the diversity and unity, and it's saying it is now accepted among historical scholars that in the decades before the collapse, America suffered from the sicknesses of racism and cultural identity. Everyone wanted to be seen as special. Every group had to be equal to, or preferably better than its neighbours, and fought to protect its special rights. If anyone had something that someone else wanted, they were painted as racist, sexist, elitist, or worse. This divisive me-first attitude eventually tore the very fabric of American culture apart and caused it to self-destruct in a fireball of competing ideologies, none of which truly recognised each other's validity. Diversity led inexorably to anarchy, and that's exactly what SJWs do. They don't want to actually fix racism. They want to perpetuate the victimhood so they can stay relevant. Same with feminism and be LGBT rights.
Well, new age feminism, which is completely different than actual like first wave feminism that was actually needed, and I'll not deny that. And there are still some issues that are not equal, and there's some issues for men that are not equal, and there's some issues for LGBT. There's issues for everybody that's not equal, and we do need to work together to sort of solve that together. But they don't want to work together for that. They want to make it about one person and one thing.
The biggest problem you run into is they're looking for, the problem is they're looking for a specific villain when they should be looking for solutions and
allies. Like, that's the thing, is like they talk so much about being an ally and stuff, but they don't realize what ally means. Ally doesn't mean, which is what they think it means, is like you stand up for us. Ally means, hey, we work together. You stand up for me, I stand up for you. Hey, there's issues for women that need to be addressed. Okay, we're gonna stand up for you. And you know what? You're a human being too, and I see your struggles, and I'm gonna help you and stand up for you, and we're gonna resolve this together. And that's the problem, is that it's like, oh no, there's only one, and that's like people who, that's a specific person, maybe one person, maybe two specific people that hurt the person, and so now they take that person and a couple of people, group of people, and they amplify it to, well, I've been hurt by a couple of people that look and are like this, so everybody that looks and whatever is close to them must be exactly like them. And this one interaction that they gave, I'm gonna base everything about them on this one interaction that they said.
It's kind of scary that this diversity and unity section it's not a prediction of what is to come. It's what we're already living in, a cyberpunk future. We got this. We got this identity politics. We've got corporations that are acting more powerful than governments, and dictating what people can and can't do, and treading on their freedoms. and people, because of ideologies,
but I want the cool
because
Cyberpunk
of the self-destruction fireball of competing ideologies, people don't either. People aren't being consistent. Like,
I'm glad you brought that up too, because I know that I said, oh, everybody is the same and stuff. But the thing is like, if you really want to look, and maybe this is my opinion, it could be completely wrong.
yeah.
But if you really want to look at who's the villain here, who's manipulating everybody against everybody,
It's the globalists.
who really actually profits from this is the government and corporations and stuff like that. Like, I think I don't know if we were talking about it on the show or before the show, but just the whole like are these corporations actually going to really care about Pride after Pride is over?
Exactly, after the month is up. Yeah. Are they?
Probably not. The and the other thing I want to bring up is, but like, here, what's really funny about the Cyberpunk world is actually there's a faction that was in the original books. I don't know if it'll actually probably show up in 2077. Probably not, because they probably don't want to. They probably don't want to step on some feet, and that was an old thing. There was actually a group called the Feminazis. That was not related to the feminist movement. It was actually just like an actual group of female Nazi groups that were extremist female Nazis that were led by somebody who wanted to live, who wanted to move forward with Hitler's regime and stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, this thing with the competing ideologies, even just being in defense of free speech, being a free speech absolutist, is somehow a right-leaning political viewpoint, according to these far left radical, people on the left. That's insane. I'm a free speech absolutist. I'll defend, even with someone that I vehemently disagree with, who has abhorrent viewpoints, I will defend their right to say it. I'm going to argue against their words with words, not fists.
Well, yeah, exactly. The idea is that you want to hear their ideas. You want to be able to hear their ideas, because it's not that I'm saying their ideas are good or bad. I need to know their ideas to know whether or not I wish to compete their ideas.
Exactly.
If you silence them, then here's the thing. There's a thing called the Streisand effect. If you silence it, somebody's going to say, "Why do you feel the need to silence it?"
Exactly.
Well, now I'm curious, and so then they're going to seek it out, right?
Well, the other thing too is that, you never know. People say, "Oh, well, I'm not going to change your mind. You're not going to change my mind," and you know what? Probably 90, 95, a huge percentage of the time, yeah, you're not. But if you're actually having an actual discussion and debate and stuff like that, you never know. You could learn something, they could learn something. You could agree to disagree, and you could be like, wow, you know what? You could go back and afterwards, and you could be like, you know what? I didn't agree with everything they said, but I see where they're coming from and stuff like that. And that's very pro learning. And, even if you don't agree, you're still learning something by talking to people. And I'm more for learning about people and what other people think, even if it's different than my own way of thinking or what I think. And I think that we just get a better world if we talk more and listen more than we just shut ideas down.
Because it can be
it might be a terrible idea, but
because it can oh, sorry, I was cutting you off there.
But you never know until you listen or talk about it.
Yeah. I was gonna say, it can be very easy to fall into that trap of tribalism and falling into an echo chamber. It's so easy to go, yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
and to not listen to. I mean, I know that we say that these NPCs. It's because they repeat the same. We've listened to their arguments, and we rebuke that. rebuke their arguments, but they just repeat the same things and with the same labels, the same ad hominem attacks. They got nothing new to add to the conversation. So that's why we call them NPCs.
Yeah. And you know what? I'll even say that some people from the other side do the same, and I think that I think it's more of like, and that's the other thing is I feel like SJWs are sort of looking at people as a whole, and I guess the other side does. Some people from the other side do too.
Yeah.
When they look at things as a whole as opposed to individuals. You know, it's like that person might actually be an asshole, and you might have good reason to not like them. And you know what? They just might be a racist, sexist, homophobic person.
Yeah.
But you can't really take that person and be like, okay, because that person like says something I don't like. Oh my God, they're all of a sudden lumped in with these other people, and it's like, they're an individual, and you have to start basing things on what that person is saying and divide it from what this other person's saying, because there's 7 billion people on the earth and growing. And you know, we're all individuals. We all have a lot of similarities, but we're all very much individuals still. And I think that we start treating people very similar to, you know, treating people like humans, and we start judging individuals on individual actions, not the actions of the whole.
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
I mean, crazy.
Well, I mean, like, sure, I get it. Like, you don't have to. No one's saying you have to like everything that like what's being said, but like, but like, there's a reason why the open space exists. There's a reason why, like, you know, there's a reason why we offer people to speak out, like, and say what they should be able to say, because like, we want people to make the decisions for themselves, right?
Yeah.
So, I would say that yeah, like, you're allowed to have that, you know, that decision of being like, yes, I do not want to, like, you can definitely say, okay, well, I don't want to buy Cyberpunk because I think that it doesn't appeal to me. That's fine. Or you're allowed to say that I don't want to consume this product because it doesn't appeal to me. That is fine. But like, you can't just you can't be like, oh well, you're sexist or racist. Like, you can't tell me that you can't tell me I'm sexist or racist for disliking The Last Jedi. No, if I dislike The Last Jedi, then I dislike The Last Jedi. But if I like Cyberpunk, you can't say, oh well, Cyberpunk is racist and sexist and should never be sold as a game. Nope, sorry, that argument doesn't make sense. Like, you can't have, you know, you can't have your cake and eat it too. You have to, you know what I mean? People are allowed to definitely.
Well, I like that you brought that up, and like, it's funny because apparently there's a few points that I have that are very, very sexist, and I want, like, I know you guys are very similar minded to me, so it's hard to say, but like, you know, two things that I brought up recently that I thought were perfectly fine and normal and stuff, but apparently are sexist is, one, I think that females should be better written, because I think we do deserve strong female characters that are role models for any woman, young or old or whatever. And I think the only way to do that is with human compassion, and they need to be an actual human being and written like a human being. Apparently that's sexist, to say that women should have the same luxury as men of having well-written characters, and that they're people and should be written like people.
Yeah.
And the other one was an E3 comment, actually, and that was, or I think it happened just slightly before E3, but no, it was right at the very beginning with Anita Sarkeesian, and that's all I mention of that name. But
oh god,
it was basically like, yeah, you know what? I think that there should be a lot of female females. I think we should have programs for females to learn coding and video game design, the coding and the visual side of it. And I think there should be more of them developing games that they want and that they're interested in, and that they should have studios and stuff like that. Among with other studios as well, that they can do their own thing or whatever they want to do. Not to separate them, but it's like I always say, like, be the change that you want to see. I think that the industry could use more women, and I think that they could become successful business owners and make money and be very accomplished. Apparently, that's sexist.
So I'm not going to say whether or not that's sexist. I'm going to put in my point of view of why should we create like my argument is want to just create jobs. I mean, like, I don't think of it like every job I've worked at. Yeah. This includes IT-based jobs that I've worked at. This includes any other job. Doesn't have like some magical door saying, "Oh, no women allowed." They usually say, "Okay, whoever's best for the job, we'll try to hire them." That's usually. So, like, if we're creating like a special requirement, I mean, I would hope like that special requirement is also like not going to take away from the best person who can do the job. Personally, now I'm not saying that because I'm not saying like that females shouldn't be in the industry. I want to point that out 100%. I'm going to also say that females should definitely be in the industry, but if they're not interested in like going in that field, and we like put that opportunity for them, and then we put that opportunity for them, I can't say, oh, you know what I mean? Like, that'd be like, so when I go to, let's say, daycares, most people who work at daycares are usually females. Are we going to then say, should there be special privileges put in place to allow more men in that area too?
Yeah. But I'm not disagreeing with that. My point is just that we have things like RPG Maker. We have Blender, which is free. RPG Maker does cost money, but you can usually get it on sale. We have the Unreal 4, like the Unreal Engine or whatever. Yeah. Now, if you don't want to support Epic, which the engine's pretty good to use, but if you don't want to go that route, because that's completely free as well, as long as you make under a certain amount of money. You can also go with Unity, which is another completely free until you make a certain amount of money. I'm just saying that there's plenty of opportunity out there for anybody who wants to pick it up and learn and build their own video game.
Yeah.
And if you don't like what's going on in video games, maybe you're right, maybe you're wrong, but the opportunity is there to go out and be the change you want to see and make a game that you will enjoy, that maybe other people like you and with a similar interest as you would like the game as well, and you become successful.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be like, oh, I need to be the star. Like, my opinion's the only opinion that matters, and screw everybody else's opinion, because I know what I like, and everybody should like that same thing as me. And otherwise, you're racist or sexist and whatnot. No, go out and be the change you want to see. Yeah. Like, start making some games that are successful. That's what other people have done. Yeah. Not to be mean or anything, but you know.
Yeah. Did you hear with Anita Sarkeesian trying to grift out? Do you remember I made a video a couple of weeks ago? It was about Anita's consulting extortion mafia outfit company, and she was trying to basically extort CD Projekt Red.
Yeah.
Like, basically, how her tweet read would be a shame if something bad was to happen to your game, to Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
If I said something, if you didn't pay me money to be your consultant, and basically strip everything that makes this game great.
Yeah. Like, the idea is like, here you go, Anita. I'm gonna call you, like, Anita Sarkeesian is trying to do her drift again. Here's the thing: that didn't really work out so well for Mass Effect Andromeda.
Yeah.
Or Anthem.
Or Battlefield 5. Or Mirror's Edge Catalyst.
Yeah.
Any other games that
your track record is not very good, Anita. So I think we're better off without you.
How about all the fans? How about all the fans that of hers that she gave the shaft to?
Did she? Why? What
Oh,
happened?
she did. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't there. Now I don't know the full story, so I could be completely wrong. I don't think I'm completely, but
Mhm.
there was something. It was one of her first things she did that she hasn't fulfilled yet,
Yeah.
or maybe she did, but it took her a long ass time to.
Are you talking about the feminist frequency, like the?
I think so. Yes, I'm not
Yeah.
again sure of the specifics, and I apologize for that.
Oh yeah, that wasn't she supposed to, with her Kickstarter for her original feminist frequency women in tropes versus video games, was they were supposed to be on DVDs for people that did a certain tier.
Yeah.
I think that was part of it. The other part is like, I think there were supposed to be more episodes than what she gave.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. There's supposed to be more episodes.
And
Is the one I know of, but
like,
Flat
also-
could be right too.
I think there was part of that. The other thing is also like there's certain there's other obligations that weren't met. Like I don't know where all the production money went. There's a lot of questions about like what she actually used the money for. Hell, she had money for she actually asked money for like to go to schools to give like interviews. Like I don't even think she actually did it. She's always done this. She's always done this like thing where she has money. She asks for money for X, but then she never delivers on it. Like, or she
Yeah.
delivers partially on it, and it's like, no, you like how many of these things, like how many of these dishonest tactics are you going to keep doing, right?
Yeah.
She has ties with Zoe Quinn, and people have been coming out and talking about how I think Zoe Quinn, I think it is, who hasn't actually paid a lot of her employees apparently, like for some of the games that they worked on her for her.
She hasn't paid her employees of Crash Override Network either.
Yeah,
A load of trans employees or something.
yeah, like a lot of trans employees and stuff like that. She's both of these people have been using and abusing their colleagues and the people that work for them for years now, and we're supposed to take them seriously. Okay, yeah.
Or take them as credible people. Yeah.
Yeah.
And when
I'm
in
sorry.
fact,
And this is not something about me like hating on them being feminists or anything. This is me pointing out them being just terrible people.
Yeah, but I think even some feminists and even some like nasty feminists.
Yeah.
I think like probably even a majority of feminists and SJWs are kind of seeing, oh hey, yeah, this isn't quite working out or whatever. And I feel bad for them and whatnot. I hate to see anybody go through that, but it's like, I don't know. It's
Oh no, dude, I completely understand where you're coming from. You know what I mean? Like because like it's at the same time like I don't want to see like the person that you're championing like screw you over, but like you have to accept the fact like this person that you're championing should not be championed. Like they screwed you over, you should find somebody else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And there are still a couple of people that are still like, yeah, she's great and stuff, but like I don't see a lot of people who are actually taking her seriously anymore. Even even the SJWs and that type of folk.
Exactly. And like on this case, I mean, I do like the idea of but I do like the idea that people are starting to fight back against these people who are clearly clearly abusing their power or misusing their information and stuff like that. Like that's a good sign. That's a sign in the right direction because the thing is at the end of the day, like you should be able to make the product the way that hopefully it's intended to be made. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Or at least fit. Like here's the thing: is like you can never guarantee that something's going to be the way that you thought it was going to be intended, but I think that delivering it at least is just standard, and hoping that at least it's what you expected. But at the very very minimum, least that like the expectations that it's going to be delivered on,
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, it's good to see CD Projekt Red and Mike Pondsmith, standing their ground and saying like, this is our project. We want to work on it the way we're supposed to work on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whether it's a good game or not, we'll find out. But I mean, I hope it's a good game. I'm excited for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where, but like, but at the same time, to see other games coming out that are starting to do that. I think that's a positive turnaround. You know what I mean? Like it's them not, because then we see what happens when you start to kowtow to groups that clearly don't have their best interest in mind, and like just make changes just to make changes to like in hopes that it'll be like a quick little, because the thing is we've seen companies fail and not make money when they try to do this. You know what I mean? Because all creativity is lost in that. Yeah, there's the tweet. It sounds very much like he's trying to shake them down. It's very, very disturbing.
Yeah. I mean, like
if you want to read it.
I mean, yeah, like, what was it? Hey, CD Projekt Red, I'm always available for consulting because it sure sounds like you might need it before the whole of the internet drags you for what sounds like some potentially sexist representations. Which we all know.
Sounds like you might need it. Like that right there. Oh, that's very much like yo. Like, I'll come in. I'll save you from the crowds. I'm the chosen one. Just like let me in.
Yeah, like
pay me a little bit of money and
like this bit like drags you for what sounds like potentially sexist representations. ... Which we all know you've struggled with in the past. And like there's a few people that have actually been guests on the show. Got George Alexopoulos saying, do you normally try to find work by insulting and misrepresenting potential clients? How can any consultant with such a poor reputation help anyone with theirs? Yeah. I've also got Gilbert Deltrez saying, Anita, I think you're unfamiliar with artistic expression and how it relates to a sci-fi video game construct set in a fictional 2077 timeline. Human body isn't viewed the way you are perceiving it from a contemporary minimalistic viewpoint. Stop trying to change someone's art.
Like, goddamn, like this is so blatantly like, yo, like this is so blatantly sounds like she's like the mafia just running into town.
It is, you know, like when like those like cliched mafia movies where they rock up into someone's shop with a baseball bat and they're ready to smash everything on the shelves. Like, yo,
so if you don't pay your protection fee, I can't promise.
Yo,
if you don't pay your protection fee,
I scratch your back, you scratch mine. You know what I'm saying, Joey?
There's a bit of an insurance fee to this.
Exactly, right? It's literally like
it reads.
I can't promise nothing bad won't happen if you're not up to date on your payments.
Be a shame if you didn't pay your insurance company and you got a bullet through your head of natural causes.
God dang. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen anyone sound so villainous.
Well,
okay,
it
wait,
writes
that's a lie.
itself.
It really does.
And then in the same thread, she then plugs, going, "Video game designers, let me help you avoid these kinds of mistakes. I want you to make."
Like an infomercial now. Like, have you tried to not make these video game mistakes? Well, for $9.99 and shipping and handling, I will teach you how to do it.
What does she mean by mistakes? Mistakes? Like, I want you to make the great games you're envisioning while appealing to a broader audience. And then in brackets, and that includes not offending entire market segments.
Market segments of people who probably wouldn't have bought in the game anyway.
Exactly. Like she went, nudity itself isn't the problem. Neither is showing and expressing sexuality or sexual desire. It's about how it's represented and what values the overall narrative promotes.
So she contradicted herself.
I think it was something to do with...
Nudity isn't the problem. Nudity is... You literally have like an episode about how you hate the fact that like woman's butt shows up on screen.
The way she exaggerates her walk. That's all part of Catwoman's character, is her guile and wily, you know, she's
Coyote.
witty. Wily Coyote. You know, she's witty and she's quick on her feet, isn't she? She's quick thinking.
Yeah. you literally have like a whole series talking about how much you hate like how characters are sexualized. You do realize like nudity is sexualization.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, yeah, like your argument is flawed. And
didn't she in that same video said she tried ages to struggle with the camera in the Batman Arkham games to see Batman's butt? I'm like, you can see it. Just keep doing forward rolls.
well, dude, it's very easy to see. Like, dude, if you just do a running animation, you'll see it very easily.
Exactly.
Not to mention, also, if you really want to see a nice ass, I suggest playing as Nightwing.
Let me just Google that for research purposes. Which game in particular? Arkham City or Arkham Knight?
I believe Arkham Knight you can play as Nightwing.
We'll do that for you, Switch.
Well, he's a nice ass.
Yeah, that's true. I'm
very tweet.
I'm very, very much straight, and I still think he has a nice ass.
Ain't nothing wrong with a little Nightwing ass. Hello.
Nothing wrong with it at all. Like if you play as like, but yeah, like you can definitely, yeah, like you can actually see Nightwing's ass. You can actually, I think like Robin's ass is very easy to see in that game. You can actually see Batman's ass too. Like if you're wearing like the right suit, there's actually some suits that don't have a cape. You can just wear one of those suits. I think the Batman Beyond suit is actually in a few of the games, and that one doesn't have a cape, so you can see his ass. And they actually well defined his ass in that game. That's the thing. Not even kidding. Like, I'm sorry, but if you want to see some nice guy ass, I mean, the game does give you some options. I'm not even kidding.
Let's do a little treat for the with some
for ladies and for the gay men out there, right?
Look at that. Like, that's a cat with an ass.
Yeah. And like they honestly, like it's easy to get some ass on this. Like, and the characters all look good. And then they complain about characters that are also created by females. Like, hell, that lady that created, like that Japanese lady that showed up at E3 today, like E3 like a few days ago.
Yeah.
She helped create Okami and Bayonetta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's the artist that created Bayonetta.
I was going to say with that trans poster as well. Like, but that was a female creator that created that, wasn't it?
I believe so. I mean, like, honestly, like they always seem to complain. They talk about how they want females in the industry, and like then those females in the industry and they create like hot characters. No, it's bad. It's like they found out it's a female character. No, it's internalized misogyny.
Oh god, I can't stand that bloody term.
Yeah,
internalized.
That's the thing is like when they find out it's like female anything, it's like, oh well. Like at first it's like, oh that's sick man or whatever, and then it's like it was a woman that made it. Oh well, they just live in a society of men. Well,
we live in a society.
Well, you live in that same society. You live in that same society, whether it's true or not what you said, but let's say it is. You live in that society. Are you like some messiah or something that just happened to like win or something? Like how? Like they have like they're humans. They have a mind of their. They have minds and stuff. So like they have the ability to think. They're not idiots. And I don't, it shouldn't be tolerated by them for calling people idiots, man or woman.
Yeah.
So, they can go.
Oh no, and I agree. Like, I mean, they're definitely allowed to. They're. I mean, what's wrong with enjoying like ladies like hot ladies? That's fine. I mean,
yeah.
Like, and there's guys that like hot guys too. Again, that is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Like. When I go to watch like a movie, let's say, even if it's like just an action movie, I really hope the guy's like nice and good looking. I don't hope that he's like a slob of a man. You know what I mean? Like
did in Captain America: Winter Soldier when he's holding on to the helicopter. No, that wasn't Winter Soldier. Sorry, Civil War. I knew I'd get it right. When he's holding on to the helicopter, and you see Steve Rogers with his biceps, like.
There was girls like actually asking for that scene for him to be like topless in that scene, like, and I was like, I mean, I would have been okay with it, but at the same time, it's just like, okay, so had I said that about like the girl, like would that be sexist then? Or I'm just curious. Like, what's your standard?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, because like, if you want me to like really point out hypocrisy, right? Like, like that's what that is. Because if you're okay with one but not the other,
yeah.
By the way, I love that meme that you posted. I'll see if I can get this up on the.
Well, if you click on it, you can click open original.
Yeah, here we go.
I think the I was talking today about it. I think the one thing that brought everybody together from E3, whether you're Comics Gate or whatever, Gamers Gate, SJW or whatever, I don't think I've seen a lot of conflict or anger about anything to do with Keanu Reeves in Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah.
Like, everybody just loved it and stuff. Just the whole scene where he was just like, yeah,
You're breathtaking.
yeah, it was like,
You know the guy who said you're breathtaking got a free copy of Cyberpunk 2077.
I want to go back in time and go to E3, spend all that money on the time machine and tickets and travel, just so I can get a free copy of this game.
Like, just you be that guy.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't really mean it like the you're breathtaking. I'm just.
I mean, you know what? That's good for him. He got a free copy of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. You know what? That's awesome that they did that for him.
Yeah.
I think that's friggin' great. Like, I think if it were many other, I couldn't say it all, but I think if it was many other video game companies, I think that they would have maybe just said, "Oh yeah, this guy, haha," and like, did nothing. And that's, I'm not downing them for that or whatever, but I'm just saying, like, good on them for being like, you know what? Thank you. Here you go. This is gonna give us like publicity and stuff. We can spare like, I don't know, $50 to $100 depending where the guy lives.
Also, there are people selling their jackets from the Cyberpunk 2077 on eBay that they got from the Cyberpunk for people from, and those are like the jackets, like the reversible jackets. Don't buy them, okay? Because CD Projekt Red has indicated that they're planning to sell the jacket, like they're planning to sell their own versions of those jackets down the line. Don't support assholes like that who got like free swag while they were at E3 and then are just trying to literally this is stuff that CD Projekt Red gave out in good faith to these people who were there, who spent money to go to E3 and stuff like that, and then here they're just trying to like grift it online. Like this was them showing like good faith to people, and
appreciation for their customers and fans.
Yeah, and they were planning to sell those things anyway. So
what's it with these shitty people? Like, I'd love for us, all four of us, to meet up at E3. Like, it's the Flat Pack Show on E3.
Better get security ready.
Like, I would love to have an interview with Mike Pondsmith, man. That'd be fucking amazing. I was so jealous when Young got to meet him. Then it was like but then I was like, so don't buy those. Don't buy those jackets. Just wait till like CD Projekt Red puts them out. They'll probably put them out at a better price than the people on eBay are selling them anyway.
And you're supporting CD Projekt Red.
And another way to support CD Projekt Red is if you want to buy the game, like one of the better ways. I mean, sure, you can buy it off Steam or you can buy it for your Xbox, but if you have a PC that can run it and you want to definitely pick it up for PC, I would recommend getting it off of GOG, because CD Projekt Red are the guys who own, or some of the guys that actually own the GOG store, and they support DRM free. So not only will you be buying the game, you will 100% own it if you buy it on GOG.
Yeah.
So that is actually a really good thing for people who like that kind of stuff. So, that's the best way to buy that game.
What was that? I was trying to find... Yeah, I'll bring it up on the stream. It's from PewDiePie's video. I'm not playing the video, I'm just... Ah, wrong bloody tab then. It was.
That'll learn you.
Yeah, I'll send you the link as well. It's at the 10-minute 13 mark, and it's it makes you look for a second. They go, multiple actresses accuse Keanu Reeves of extremely appropriate behaviour.
Oh yeah, like he always hovers his hand.
He hovers his hand, yeah. But it
Like,
makes
yeah,
you
like,
makes you think like, oh no, Keanu Reeves has been falsely accused. Extremely,
I love it. Yeah.
Not inappropriate, is appropriate behaviour.
Like this man, he's like his levels are he's amazing. Like his hand is like his levels of like how he hovers his hand, just great. I love it.
I was gonna say, I'll see if I can find where.
It's around 9:45, 9:50 around that area, I think.
Oh, nearly had it then. Yeah, there we go. It goes lol, because was it Keanu taking no chances and like he's I'll put it on.
Yeah, like there's you can search it up like this. There's like the Keanu hand hover meme you can search up.
Like,
where
he goes, "What, you're telling me I can dodge lawsuits?" And he goes, "No, Neo. What I'm telling is, when the time comes, you won't have to."
Yeah. like take a look at like I have some of the pictures here. Like here's one. Like there's the arrows pointing out. Like he doesn't touch, right? Like you can.
Yeah.
His hand is not closed. Yeah, like that.
Yeah. Sort of there. Like some people would argue, oh, he's just being so nice and respectful that. Oh yeah, this is the meme. Yeah.
Yeah.
That he's just respectful of people's personal space.
And just like it's just so he's yeah.
Especially when you know his past, sort of when with his ex-girlfriend and his child, that was stillborn. It is really, really sad, but it just shows like that doesn't define who he is as a person. He's not let that tragedy define his identity. Like he's pushed beyond that. And
I mean that's just telling of how powerful his character is as a person. That like he finds a way to move on even from that. You know what I mean? And I think that's something that I think a lot of people can appreciate that.
Yeah.
Ooh, anyway, it is getting late. We probably should be wrapping up.
I was gonna say,
soon.
we're with that. So you're telling me I can dodge lawsuits? Also, this meme that you posted in the Discord while we were chatting earlier, and I said it took me a moment to get this. Like it said, just three breathtaking people looking at each other. Like Bob Ross.
I think we should leave it at that. We should leave it at everyone's breathtaking here.
Yeah, it took me a while. I'm like, wait, who's the third person?
So, because you know what, all of our fans. No, not just only our fans. Everyone. You're all breathtaking.
Yeah, breathtaking.
Every single one of the 7 billion people and counting are breathtaking.
So I think we should. And my final words is, you're all breathtaking.
My final words, you're all breathtaking. Bad waffle.
What's that?
I said, what's your final word?
Remember to hug the person next to you and be the change you want to see, and keep it toasty.
And with that, we'll catch you in the next episode. Thank you for everyone that came. I think Donna Troy.
She stopped by for a second.
She stopped by briefly. Also,
she stopped by, saw Crumple Point wasn't on last.
But I'm happy. I'm not. That's I am happy, yeah. But there was a person who was watching. I'm happy in the chat. I don't think I've seen that.
Oh,
person.
I thought you were just generally happy.
Well, I mean, who knows? Maybe he'll be a new subscriber. I'm okay with I'm happy joining the crew. He sounds like a very happy guy.
I'm happy that I'm happy is joining.
So yeah, don't forget to check out the other episodes of the Flat Pack Show. Don't forget to share this around. Really does help us. Like sometimes our views, they alternate depending on the week. Let's see if we can get more people watching the show. By all means, check back on the previous episodes. We've had numerous guests. I mean, last week we had Brian Shearer. Yeah, that is his name, wasn't it, Corey?
Yeah.
Brian Shearer working on Gunship Thunder Punch, which is like a sort of throwback to the 80s/90s Transformers. I think he did actually work on the Transformers and G.I. Joe comics.
For IDW, yeah.
For IDW. This guy, Brian, really talented guy.
A super awesome guy, too, to talk to.
And so yeah, by all means, check out the previous episodes of the Flat Pack. It's every Wednesdays, 11 p.m. GMT, 6 p.m. Eastern. Things might change in the future because we want to make sure that we have Crumple Point on. He's got personal stuff going on that has,
he's tied up a bit.
Yeah, he's tied up. Mrs. Crumple's got him tied up.
In her basement.
So yeah, with that, thank you for tuning in on the Flat Pack Show. Also, I'm super psyched for Cyberpunk 2077. I cannot wait till it comes out.
I'm psyched for it. Character creation looks real fun to play with.
Are you going to play as a cisgendered white male, like the default male?
I'm probably not playing as default. I'm probably going to go through a character creator for like hours to make my life.
You're like
I'm going to make.
You're like Gemma. She does that. She spends hours.
I'm going to make Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, that means there's two Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, well, did you ever see the Skyrim one where it's the executioner and it's like, you sir, what's your name? And then you make the character creation, and then it shows the guy and he looks like he's shocked, and then it zooms back to you after the character creation, and it's like him. It's hilarious.
I'm chopping my own head off.
I'm you.
That always makes me laugh with that. So, who are you? And imagine just seeing some prisoner, like they're changing, their faces changing, different races, and like their head is morphing before their very eyes. They're like, oh my god, he's the Dragonborn. So, with that, thank you to everyone that's tuned in. Or if you're watching this later on, we'll catch you in the next episode. Take it easy, everyone. Bye.